Welcome to our deep dive, into AI Coach by Anil Nathu.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to be exploring AI agents today.
Sounds good.
When I think about AI agents, I think about just like these, incredible digital, forces that are out there changing how we work and live.
Yeah, AI Coach does a great job of kind of explaining AI agents in a really accessible way.
Yeah, and one of the things that really struck me when I started reading about AI agents was how much they resemble human problem solving.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to be looking at how these agents determine goals, acquire information, and implement tasks. And when you look at it from that perspective, it's almost intuitive.
Yeah, the technology can be complicated, but the core principles are rooted in familiar patterns.
Right.
The thought and action. So.
Okay, so let's jump into that first step.
Yeah.
Determine goals.
Sure.
AI Coach uses some great real-world examples.
Mm-hmm.
So imagine you have an AI agent, and it's tasked with planning your day.
Okay.
So what would that look like?
So the AI agent wouldn't just randomly start planning your day. It would have to break down that goal into a series of smaller tasks.
So instead of just plan my day, it's, check my calendar for appointments, factor in travel time, consider my to-do list, maybe even check the weather to tell me what to wear.
Exactly, and that's where dependencies come in.
Ooh, dependencies. Yeah. So are we talking AI agent relationship issues now?
Not quite. It's more like a logical flowchart. The AI can't suggest the best route for your commute until it knows your destination and arrival time.
Oh, so it's about a sequence
Exactly.
of actions.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
But how does the AI decide which tasks are more important than others?
Well, AI agents use algorithms to prioritize tasks based on a few factors: the critical path, time sensitivity, and resource availability.
Okay, break those down for me.
Sure. The critical path refers to the tasks that must be completed to achieve the overall goal. Time sensitivity factors in deadlines and time constraints. And resource availability looks at things like data access, processing power, or even physical resources if the agent is controlling a robot.
Oh, so it's not just about doing the right things, it's about doing them in the right order.
And at the right time.
At the right time.
Yes.
This prioritization that you're talking about is essential for the AI agent to be effective.
And efficient. It has to deliver results that are actually useful to the user.
It all makes sense now.
Yeah.
All right, so we've determined our goals, we've got our tasks prioritized. What's next?
Well, just like a detective needs evidence to solve a case, an AI agent needs information to achieve its goals.
Oh, okay.
And that brings us to step 2. Acquire information.
This is where it gets really interesting.
Absolutely.
This data gathering phase.
Yeah. AI Coach outlines several ways that AI agents acquire information. They can access internal data sources like databases or files stored within their system. They can also interact with the web, pulling information from websites, APIs, or online services. And they can even collaborate with other AI agents or models, exchanging information and insights.
Wow, so they're not limited to just one source of information.
It's a whole network.
Yeah, can you give me a specific example of how that might work?
Sure. Let's go back to that AI agent planning your day. It could access your calendar and to-do list. That's internal data. Then it might connect to a weather service to get the forecast. That's web interaction. And to factor in traffic conditions, it could tap into a real-time traffic app, which is collaboration with another AI.
Each method of getting information has a specific role.
Yeah, and as Anil Nathu points out, this step is crucial because the quality and completeness of the information gathered will directly impact the AI agent's ability to successfully complete its mission.
It's like making sure you have all the ingredients before you start cooking.
Exactly. You don't want to be halfway through and realize you're missing something important.
Though you don't.
All right, so now that our AI agent has gathered all the necessary information, it's time to move on to the next phase, implementing tasks. This is where all that planning and data gathering gets put into action.
This is where it all comes together.
It is.
It's showtime.
Exactly. And in AI Coach, Anil Nathu breaks down this phase into several sub-steps: executing tasks, receiving feedback, adapting to new information, and making dynamic adjustments as needed. But we'll delve into those details later.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah.
So we'll explore how these AI agents put all the pieces together to achieve their goals. We'll continue to draw on AI Coach by Anil Nathu to guide us.
Sounds great.
Stay tuned.
All right. Welcome back to our look into the world of AI agents with help from AI Coach by Anil Nathu. Before we paused, we talked about how these agents gather information, kind of like detectives collecting clues.
Right now, it's time to see them in action,
Yes,
using all that information to get things done.
exactly. Think of this implement tasks phase as the operational heart of an AI agent. It's where all the magic happens.
So let's say our AI agent, armed with all of its data, is ready to tackle that day planning. We talked about what happens next. Does it
Yeah.
just start firing off, calendar reminders and booking Ubers?
Well, it's more nuanced than that. As Anil Nathu explains in AI Coach, this implementation phase involves a series of sub-steps. The agent starts by executing the tasks it's identified, but it's constantly monitoring its progress and evaluating the outcomes of its actions.
So it's not just blindly following instructions. There's real-time evaluation going on.
Absolutely. AI agents are designed to be adaptable. They can incorporate feedback, adjust their approach, and even make dynamic changes to their plan based on new information or unexpected circumstances. It's like having a personal assistant who not only follows your instructions, but also anticipates your needs and proactively adjusts to changes in your schedule or priorities.
That's wild. So let's say our AI agent has booked a lunch meeting for you, but then you get an urgent email that requires you to reschedule. How would the AI handle that?
Well, this is where that feedback and adaptation comes in. It might monitor your email inbox and recognize that the new email conflicts with the scheduled lunch. Then it would alert you to the conflict and suggest solutions like maybe rescheduling or delegating another task and wait for your instructions.
So it's constantly checking in, making sure its actions are still aligned with your goals and adjusting the plan as needed. That's pretty sophisticated.
It is. And this level of adaptability is what makes AI agents so powerful. They're not just rigid machines following a predetermined set of rules. They're dynamic systems capable of learning, evolving, and responding to the complexities of the real world.
This adaptability makes me think of another point from AI Coach. The importance of feedback mechanisms. How do those feedback loops actually work in an AI agent?
Great question. It gets to the heart of how AI agents learn and improve over time. There are various types of feedback mechanisms, but one common approach is reinforcement learning.
Reinforcement learning. Isn't that how those game-playing AIs got so good?
Yeah. In the context of an AI agent, reinforcement learning involves providing the agent with rewards or penalties based on the outcomes of its actions. So, for example, if our day planning agent successfully schedules a meeting that aligns with your preferences and availability, it might receive a positive reward signal. But if it schedules a meeting that conflicts with another important commitment, it would receive a negative penalty signal.
This is kind of like training a pet.
Right. Positive reinforcement for good behavior and negative reinforcement for undesirable actions.
And over time, receiving those signals helps the AI agent associate certain actions with positive outcomes and others with negative outcomes. And that's how it gets better at achieving its goals.
Exactly. It's not just about programming the AI agent with a fixed set of rules. It's about giving it the ability to learn from its experiences and improve its performance.
It's almost as if they're developing their own expertise.
In a way, they are. And that's why understanding how AI agents operate is so important. We're interacting with them more and more, relying on them to manage our schedules, recommend products, provide information, and even make decisions that impact our lives. So the more we understand how they work, the better equipped we'll be to use them effectively and responsibly.
I totally agree. And speaking of responsible use, I'm curious about those dynamic adjustments you mentioned earlier. How does an AI agent handle those unexpected situations that pop up?
That's where things get interesting. As we've discussed, AI agents aren't just blindly following a set of rules, they're constantly monitoring their environment, evaluating feedback, and adapting their approach.
Right. We talked about that email example where the AI agent recognized a conflict and suggested other solutions.
Mhm.
What about situations where the agent encounters something totally unexpected, something it wasn't programmed to handle?
That's where the agent's ability to make dynamic adjustments comes in. Anil Nathu makes a great comparison in AI Coach. He compares it to driving a car. You plan your route, but sometimes you have to deviate from that route because of unforeseen circumstances, road closures, detours, or maybe even just a sudden change in your destination.
So just like a driver has to adapt to changing road conditions, an AI agent has to adjust its course of action based on unexpected events or new information.
Exactly. And these adjustments can range from minor tweaks to the agent's plan to major shifts in its overall strategy. Let's go back to our day planning agent. It's booked you a ride to the airport, but then a big storm rolls in, causing widespread flight delays. The agent monitoring weather reports and flight status updates would see that your original plan isn't going to work.
So it's not just about reacting to changes. It's about anticipating problems and coming up with alternative solutions.
Exactly. The agent might suggest delaying your departure, booking a hotel near the airport, or even exploring different ways to get there. The key is that the agent is always evaluating the situation, weighing different options, and making adjustments to ensure its actions are still aligned with your overall goal to get you to your destination safely and efficiently.
Those dynamic adjustments seem to be what separates a truly intelligent AI agent from a simple rule-based system.
Absolutely. It's the ability to handle the unexpected, to learn from new experiences, and to adapt to the ever-changing complexities of the real world that makes AI agents such powerful tools.
We've covered so much. We talked about how AI agents break down goals, gather information, execute tasks, and make dynamic adjustments. What's
Mm.
fascinating to me is that they're not just executing instructions, they're actually learning and adapting.
Right, and that learning and adaptation is what makes them so different from traditional software programs. They're constantly evolving and improving.
And as Anil Natu emphasizes in AI Coach, this learning is driven by feedback. Whether it's through rewards and penalties or more subtle signals from the environment, AI agents are constantly refining their understanding of how to best achieve their goals.
Precisely. And that brings us to another crucial aspect of AI agents, one that we haven't explored yet, their ability to interact with the world, not just in terms of gathering information, but actually taking physical actions. We'll dive into that exciting realm next.
We're back and we're diving deeper into AI agents, and we're going to be using AI Coach by Anil Nathu as our guide. Before the break, we were talking about how these agents learn and adapt. It's amazing to me to think they can not only process information, but they can take action in the real world.
Yeah, it is. And that's where it gets really exciting. AI Coach highlights how AI agents can actually interact with the physical world. So it's like blurring the lines between the digital and the tangible.
Okay, give me some examples of what that might look like.
Yeah. Sure, imagine an AI agent that's controlling a robotic arm in a manufacturing plant. It's not just following, pre-programmed movements. It's using sensors and cameras to perceive its environment, making real-time adjustments to its actions based on the position of objects, the flow of materials, and even unexpected events like a drop tool or a slight misalignment.
So it's like the robot has its own senses and reflexes, which
Exactly.
allows it to operate with a level of precision that would be difficult to achieve with traditional automation.
Exactly. And it's not just in industrial settings. Think about self-driving cars. The AI agent behind the wheel isn't just following a GPS route, it's analyzing data from sensors, cameras, and radar systems, making split-second decisions to navigate traffic, avoid obstacles, and respond to changing road
It's
conditions.
like these AI agents are extending our own capabilities,
Yeah,
allowing us to perform tasks with greater precision, speed, and efficiency.
that's a great way to put it. And as Anil Nasu points out in AI Coach, this ability of AI agents to interact with the physical world really opens up a lot of possibilities, from automating complex tasks in dangerous environments to creating personalized experiences that kind of blend the digital and the physical.
Okay, that makes sense. But I have to admit, thinking about AI agents controlling robots and cars makes me think about safety and control.
Hmm.
How do we make sure that these agents are operating responsibly and ethically, especially when they can interact with the physical world?
That's a really important question, and AI Coach actually addresses it directly. As AI agents become more sophisticated and their capabilities expand, it's really important that we prioritize safety, transparency, and ethical considerations in their design and deployment.
Okay, so what does that look like in practice? What are some safeguards that could be put in place?
Well, one key area is testing and validation. Before an AI agent is used in the real world, it goes through rigorous simulations and controlled experiments to make sure that it behaves as expected, that its decision-making processes are sound, and that it can handle a wide range of situations, including unexpected events.
So it's like putting a student driver through a series of tests before giving them a license. I
Exactly.
want to make sure they can drive safely.
Yeah, and just like driving tests have changed over time to keep up with new technologies and road conditions, the testing and validation processes for AI agents are constantly being refined to keep pace with the rapid advancements in the field.
Another thing that you talk about in AI Coach by Anil Nathu is transparency. Can you talk a little bit more about why transparency is so important when it comes to AI agents?
Yeah, transparency is key for building trust and accountability. As AI agents become more integrated into our lives, it's important that we understand how they work, how they make decisions, and what data they're using.
So it's not just about knowing what they're doing, it's about understanding why.
Exactly. We need to be able to trace their actions back to their logic and data sources.
And transparency is important for a lot of different reasons, right?
Right. It allows us to identify potential biases or errors in their decision making. It lets us hold developers accountable for their actions, and it helps to foster public acceptance and confidence in AI technology.
So it's not just about building smart AI agents, it's about building responsible AI agents.
Yes, agents that operate in a way that is transparent, accountable, and aligned with human values.
And AI Coach by Anil Nathu really highlights these ethical considerations.
Yeah.
It emphasizes that the future of AI is not just about the technology itself, but also about making sure that those advancements are used for the benefit of humanity.
It's really a reminder that the future of AI is not something that's set in stone. It's up to us to shape that future, to guide the development and deployment of these technologies in a way that aligns with our values and aspirations.
Well said. Thank you for joining me on this deep dive into AI agents. It's clear that these agents have the potential to change our lives in so many ways. And AI Coach by Anil Nathu has given us a lot to think about. Be sure to check out AI Coach for yourself if you want to learn more about this fascinating field.
Absolutely.
And thanks all of you for listening. We'll see you next time.